Hey everybody, this is Amy Gleason with Classic City Comic Con.
And Keith Gleason, how's it going?
We're back this week with another Creator Spotlight where we're going to talk about some of the artists, podcasters, vendors, everybody who's going to be at the convention. So, who's first on our list?
So first we'll start with the Sci-Fi Saturday Night podcast. They're a podcast that we've gone back to the early Boston shows.
Yep, I think that's
at least
the first
10
place.
plus years. I'd say even more than that. I've known these guys forever. They've reviewed like the first Hero Envy miniseries. I've done some interviews. I did one recently, actually. If you go to their website, we talk about Plastic City Comic Con a lot there. If you want to learn more about the show. But yeah, they're a great group of guys. I love their logo. It's like just a brain in the jar, in the jar, talking to a microphone. You know, I always thought that was such a great, striking image, and it's perfect. If you think about images that tell you what something is, it's absolutely perfect. You know, so. But I love those guys. They talk sci-fi every week, and they usually have some cool guests on there. You know, creators and. You know, sometimes they have like actors and things like that on the show, and they just talk about sci-fi. But this is the first year they're going to be doing Plastic City Comic Con. They'll probably be walking around the show.
You think they'll do like some on-the-spot
interviews? They might be doing
interviews?
on-spot interviews, and a couple of our volunteers, like Cameron, works for them.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does the guest bookings and things like that.
Shout out to Cameron, great guy. He'll be volunteering at Plastic
Cameron
City this year.
and Travis,
Yep.
the two brothers, they're going to be helping us. But yeah, great group of people, and they'll be there promoting their podcast and probably walking around just enjoying the show. So who do we have next?
Bryan Letendre.
Oh, okay. Our good buddy Bryan. I've probably known them. I know Bryan and Matt, man, a lot. Maybe even longer than the Sci-Fi Saturday Night guys. This is going back to
at least like 15 years, probably, right?
And, but that's our history. But Bryan now, like in addition to promoting his podcast, he's a writer. He's an author, so he's going to be bringing all his books. He does a lot of horror books. I've read one of them, the King in Yellow, which I thought was very good. It's very Lovecraftian.
It's that public domain stuff that anybody can write about, and Bryan does a nice job of like putting his own twist on it.
Yeah,
I really
he finds
like
his own like voice there, and he's got quite a few books, and some of them are sequels to that too.
Yep.
But yeah, he's got a lot of good books, and I think he's teamed up with writers too. Like I know he was doing a YA series with but yeah, Bryan will be there. He'll be selling his books. He might be walking around. I don't think he's going to be doing interviews, but I could be wrong about that. So check him out if you're looking for some novels with like a horror bent to it. Go up to Bryan and see what he has, and he's also an awesome guy. He just loves to talk heavy metal and horror, so just go see him, and you'll see why we love him. So. But yeah, all right. And who's next on the list?
Next is Craig Holland Illustrations.
Oh, okay. Craig Holland. I know he did our show last year. I don't think I've ever actually talked to him though. Okay. I know I've walked by his booth, and
I didn't get to talk to anybody last year.
Yeah, last year was too nuts.
I was just at the front all the time.
And hopefully this year will be a little more loose, so we could walk around and enjoy our con a little more rather than having to run it and not enjoy anything. But
Craig Holland is a returning artist.
He's a returning artist, and I believe he has a lot of prints, pop culture prints, things like that. He also, I believe he does commissions too. Craig, you can correct me if I'm wrong here on things that you do. But yeah, so, much like most of our artists, they sell their prints and they, do commissions, and they're just there and they talk to fans, and, if you have a question, go up and ask him. If you like his artwork, let him know. If you don't like his artwork, just shut up and keep walking. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, he's he's just like every other artist that we have that is there to have a good time and just wants to sell his wares. So yeah, definitely go and visit Craig. Who else we got? What else? The next one?
Heather Farrington. What's up with
Heather Farrington? Yeah, you remember Heather when we first met them at Vermont Comic Con?
Yep.
What, 3 years ago? Maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago. They were right behind us, directly behind us. And Heather and her husband, they're good art. Well, I think he's more of the marketing guy. I know, Heather, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the thing I liked about them is I like her artwork. It's very quirky and it's very stylized. I know they sell all kinds of stuff: sketch cards, bookmarks, stickers, little prints. They do commissions, and she does. I think she does the comic book, and that her husband writes it, and they put it out. They've got 2 issues. It's called Juvenile Distraction, I believe, and I've read the first 2. It's a web comic that they collect into a comic book series. So
okay, so you could see it online.
I think so, and I'm not sure how far it goes back, but if you Google Heather Farrington art, you can find it. And it reminds me of like Archie or something like that, where it's like a bunch of kids in their high school days, and one of them's in a band, and things like that, and relationships, and so it reminds me of probably a little more hipper Archie or something,
Yeah. Okay.
So Heather's been doing our show. I don't think she did year 1, but she did last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Heather's great. I like seeing her at shows, and we don't see her that often because they are from Vermont, so we only see them when we go up that way to do shows, because I think this is the furthest down they come for shows. I mean, I could be wrong, but
well, this is a good opportunity to see them then and pick up their comics, because
Yeah.
you're not going to see them.
yeah, because they don't do a lot of they don't do a lot of shows in this area. So, like I said, she has a very quirky style, so I think that's going to appeal to some people, So, but yeah, and who's next on our list?
Okay, next up, we've got Alterna Comics.
Oh, okay. So we got
a lot to say about Alterna Comics.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've talked about Alterna already because
yes, we did.
We're going to partner with them to bring to give the first 500 people at the show a free copy of Amazing Age number 0. But Alterna Comics has been a small publisher for at least 15 years or so. They published mostly graphic novels for a while, but now they've gotten into the newsprint thing, which I love. And newsprint, it's the stock that comics used to be printed on up until like about the 90s. And the thing I like about it is it allows the books to they can deliver a cheaper cover price. So all their books are $1.50, some of are $1, and I think anything that's like 65 pages plus is usually $2. So, and it's awesome. I mean, he's probably
Peter's going to be there. Peter
Simeti, who's the publisher and founder of Alterna Comics. He also does the chair from Alterna Comics.
Yeah. So this is a great opportunity to meet Peter and talk to Peter too.
Yeah.
Who is he's such a savvy businessman and a great artist. And it seems like sometimes in the art and comic world, you're either a great artist or a good businessman,
And a writer.
And a writer,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and he's so easy to talk to, and he'll like share his knowledge of the industry, and he's just a nice guy.
What I want to say about Alterna, though, is lately, within the last year, because they brought back newsprint, it's like kind of made them like the cool hip indie label, because like where everybody's costs are rising in the comic field, they're going the other way, trying to deliver top-notch content but at a lower price, and I applaud that, so I think that's why they're making a splash, and people are noticing them now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Plus, they put out the trade later, so if you don't like the newsprint, which I can't see why you wouldn't, you could get the quality trade later on, you know. So they do everything, and come talk to Peter. He's gonna have a huge setup at the show, and they'll probably have all their books there. So, I mean, definitely come and pick up some stuff. I mean, I for $10 you can walk away with like a handful of books. I mean, you can't say that about any other publisher. So. But yeah, is that it for this week?
Yep, that's it for this week's
right,
Creator
yeah.
Spotlight.
Hey everybody, the convention is in just 4 days, so we're not going to have time to do a review of all of the exhibitors, vendors, and artists that are going to be at the con. But stay tuned for a very quick list of all the people that you can see at Plastic City Comic Con.
So that's great. So join us April 21st again, $5, Fitchburg, Mass. Look at the sign back here or go to our website for more details. Later, guys.
You can say bye.